Hi, I'm Janet. I'm a volunteer with the Lincoln Park Conservancy, and we're going to do our last wildflower tour of the pond for 2020. This time of year, we haven't quite yet had a hard frost, so we have some green leaves, but most plants have completed all the business they need to conduct for the summer, and they have seeds, and the seeds are waiting for distribution. So the seeds come in many different forms. Some are in a pod, like on this senna plant, and some have a pappus. Let me do this. Whoops! And there we go. They flew away just like a dandelion. Dandelion is probably one of the pappuses, plants with a seed on a pappus that we think of, that feathery plume that carries it with the wind. And then we have seeds that are going to be held on a tall stalk and carried where the flower used to be. And they don't have a pappus, but they're nonetheless going to make it to a destination away from the plant because they're going to be carried by birds. So plants are distributed through various means. When their seeds are picked up by animals, such as birds or squirrels or chipmunks, sometimes the seeds are carried in the wind. Sometimes the seeds are dropped into water. Sometimes the seeds just fall to the ground with gravity, like the proverbial apple. However, that is going to be carried further by an animal. And sometimes the seeds are actually shot ballistically from the plant, like our jump seed plant, or like impatiens, if you've ever touched a seed capsule to see it burst open. So every plant has a scheme to get its seeds distributed, because if they all just fell to the ground right under the plant, they would be in competition and nobody would have much of a chance. But how much of a chance does any seed have? Plants make hundreds and even thousands of seeds, because any one seed has a small chance of finding a place to land that's appropriate for germination. So let's look at some of the seeds in the plants around here. Among our asters, our many, many asters, we have kind of a belt and suspenders approach. The seeds have a pappus, just like this aster here that finished its bloom. And there's a little plume to carry this away. But these seeds are also really appreciated by the birds around here. So the birds that are likely to eat a lot of the seed heads that we see around us are the goldfinches, the chickadees, the sparrows, and the juncos. So we have plenty of those around here to eat and carry the seed. And we have plenty of bird food all over the pond. Another form of seed that we're going to find is this spiky seed head. And that's the purple coneflower, or echinacea. And this is a plant that's actually been given a Latin name derived from its spiky seed head, echinacea. That's Greek, I believe, not Latin name, for hedgehog and spiny sea urchin. So spiny creatures, and this plant with spiny seed heads had that echinid root in them. And this one is just about done. The birds come along and they actually pick these seeds out one by one. So you'll see over the season, the seed heads start out nice and full and end up with just this little core and all the seeds eaten away. So here's a ground cherry, or the nightshade, that is still pretty full of seeds, and you can see these are mature seed pods. And what do you know, they actually do fall to the ground. A lot of these get eaten before they fall, but some get eaten after they fall. And they're gorgeous little structures. And they're especially beautiful later in the year when they're skeletonized. So this little structure is lacy, and the sun pours through it, and they just look gorgeous. Here's a ground cherry where there feels like there's a mature fruit inside. So if we open this one up, there we go. We have a beautiful, perfectly mature ground cherry. And they turn purple, pink, yellow when they're fully mature. And the flavor is actually a little bit sweet, sometimes a little bit funky, and sometimes just a little tomatoey. And again, they're full of tiny little seeds. Okay, just to show one. Perfect. So another plant that's gone to seed is the wild onion. And let's find a good sort of globe-shaped example. We may be aware of the globe-shaped flowers in the allium family, the onion family. We all see the beautiful decorative globe alliums in the early summer. And so here's the nodding wild onion with its seed head, and it carries these little seeds in little seed capsules that open up, and these little black seeds are its actual seeds hoping to germinate someplace. A lot of the grasses also have seeds that are eaten by birds, and we have big blue stem, and its little feathery seeds look like they're mostly gone. And then we have wild rye, which gives a gorgeous texture this time of year. And it's waiting to be eaten as well and transported someplace where it can grow. This plant is foxglove, or Penstemon digitalis. It has seed heads held on this very tall, long stalk, and these little capsules that contain the seeds are dehiscent, meaning they open up spontaneously, they dehiss, and whoop, the wind has blown away the seeds. This is another little food cup holding tiny seeds that feed the birds. Thank you for joining me for our last wildflower tour of the year, and I hope we'll see you next year.